Hey y'all, I know you miss me. She's the girl that you know you love to miss. That's me. She is me, the goddess. Anyways, so the numbers have been doing great. I want to thank everybody for all your support. I love you. I fucks with those who fucks with me. So you know the support is real. It makes me smile. Y'all see that dimple? Don't play with it. So I thought I've been getting a lot of interest lately in people wanting, I guess, to know more about me and my backstory. So today, I figured I would tell y'all probably the hardest story that ever happened to me. Now, those of you who are like real fans have probably heard this story maybe, or something close to it. Sorry, I gotta blow my nose. But you know, if you haven't, trigger warning, it is about abuse. Trigger warning, I don't really care if you believe it because it happened to me. And trigger warning, I'm not still living in that sad place of what happened to me, and that's why I'm able to talk about it. And if people talking about the things they've been through and what made them who they are offends you, this is probably not the episode for you. Skip this one, come back on another one when I'm in a more joyous mood, okay? All right. Okay, so I was adopted along with two of my biological sisters. Now, way later when we got grown, we found out we had more sisters. Fine. We also had a brother, but he got taken away from us in the group home, so he didn't get adopted with us. Boom. We got adopted to a white woman and a white man. The man died when I was 7 years old. And then it was just her and her mother. Her mother was a super racist, and she was mentally unstable. But none of that is an excuse for the things she did. And this story actually has a lot to do with why I'm not close with my older sister right now. But also how I know that God has a sense of humor. It's probably the first time I really realized God has a sense of humor. Okay. I was about 10 years old. Probably 10. I had a best friend, a white boy, who was known in school to be gay, but he hadn't ever said he was gay. And even if he was still my friend, so I didn't really care. But anyways, his name, we're not going to say his name, but his nickname was Fatty Patty. Judge that shit later. I don't give a fuck. It was his nickname. And he used to say it and he liked it. So fine. So, although I grew up with white people, I didn't always do a lot of white shit. So one day he asked me to go on a picnic. Now, I never had been on a picnic because the thought of going to take your food to sit on the ground to eat it was not appealing to me. But he was like, come on, it's going to be so much fun. So we made this plan to pack picnic bags, which was lunch boxes, full of snacks and food, sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly. He made pimento cheese. I put granola bars and Nutri-Grain bars and some water bottles. He was bringing, those like pretend wines, like sparkling grape juice and crackers and cheese and shit. So we're going to have the whole spread. So I don't really remember what I got in trouble for. I have no idea. I was in my room. The lunch bag was ready. I was putting on my clothes and the door flies open. It's my mother, my adopted mother. She's in a rage and she is on a fucking tear. Now, typically, her typical was like grab a nigga by the hair and like drag you downstairs and whoop your ass. So I could have went for that. But that's not what happened on this day. She grabs me by my hair. She drags me down the stairs. And then we have a closet underneath our stairs. We get to the closet and she starts telling me how I'm unappreciative of this big house. And I'm unappreciative of all the things she does. So she's going to teach me a lesson. And she's going to do that by putting me in the closet. You know how something's happening so fast, you don't even really realize like the kind of danger you're in until it's too late. That was this situation. She's got me by the hair, and I hear her saying the closet, but I didn't think she was really gonna put me in there, number one. Number two, how long you gonna leave me in this motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? I wasn't concerned until she shoved me in and the door shut. And then I realized, oh shit, she dead ass. So now I'm aware that we have a problem or whatever, but it's too late. Like I said, I'm about 10. The door slams and I can hear her sliding furniture around. So I know she barricaded the door. Now the funny thing is, when she dragged me down the stairs, I had the lunch bag on my shoulder because I was literally about to go on this picnic with my friend. So I'm locked in this closet. It's dark. There's the one little, pull the string light bulb. But it's making the closet hot, so I keep pulling the string and turning it back off. And I've got this lunch bag. You want to take a guess how many days she left me in that motherfucker? Because there were days. So something happens to you, which is probably why I feel so strongly about niggas being put in prison. Something happens to you when you're cut off from, like, the outside world. Something happens to you when you don't know, like, when you're coming out. And something happens to you when you don't have direct sunlight. And it's bad somethings. It's not positive at all. So I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Day 1, 2, and 3 was kind of a blur. I beat on the door. I kicked on the door. I cried. I screamed. I made lots of noise. Nobody came. I'm still in the closet. Day 4, I gotta pee super bad. I've been drinking this bottle of water. I gotta pee real fucking bad. So I'm banging on the door. I'm banging. I hear my mother. She says, "You're in there acting like a wild animal." I say, "Mama, I gotta pee." She said, "Piss in the closet." What? Pee in the closet? I'm in the closet. Like, what you mean? Let me out this motherfucker. Now, I always was y'all hear how I talk now? I was a real reckless talking kid too. So I'm sure I didn't do myself any favors, because I'm probably sure I was cussing and saying all kind of shit, slick shit. Even when I didn't cuss, they felt like I cussed them out because I was always real good with my words. So I do just that. I can't hold it anymore. I pee in the closet. But in that moment, I was so fucking embarrassed. Like, my whole spirit was broke that, like, I had to pee in this closet and this lady won't let me out. And I can't get out. So day 4 and day 5 was very down, like, super sad days, right? But day 6, nigga, I woke up with a new motherfucking invigoration, nigga. I'm like, oh, I'm getting out this motherfucking closet today. So, nigga, I'm pushing as hard as I fucking can. I'm slamming into the door till I feels like I done broke my fucking shoulder. Because nothing's happening. The door ain't budging. But something does happen. My grandmother says she's here. She says she heard that I was put in the closet. She says she gonna let me out. So I'm like, fucking right, Grandma. One time for the one time. But Grandma is old. She can't move that motherfucking furniture. She's trying. I hear her trying. Then she gets mad. Then she starts cussing. And then she tells me I deserve to be in the closet because I'm a nigger. So all hope is now gone. Like, as quickly I was like, fucking right. 2 hours later, I realized it ain't happening. And now she's calling me a nigger. I'm never getting out this goddamn closet. Day 7, I got a doo-doo. Real fucking bad. Real bad. It's bubbling in my motherfucking guts. Nigga, I gotta poop. I don't want to poop in this closet. I already done peed in the closet a few times. It's embarrassing. I don't want to. I don't want to doo-doo in this fucking closet. So I'm negotiating. I'm just talking through the door. I don't know if nobody's out there. It don't make a difference to me. Somebody, come on. Nobody comes. I hold it. I hold it all fucking night. I don't doo-doo. Day 8, big sister. big sister, she's 5 years older than me. She's 15. I know she can move this furniture, and I know she can let me out. She comes back from her friend's house. She's like, oh my God, Lisa, you're in the closet? What the hell? I'm like, Sally, lock me here. Come on, let me out. Come on, come on, come on. So, in her, like, energetic stage, nigga, she starts moving the furniture. But I overtalked. Because I said, like, yeah, let me out this motherfucker, because I'm never coming back in this motherfucker. And then I hear the furniture stop moving. And then she tells me that if she lets me out, I have to go back in before Sally comes home, because she doesn't want to be in trouble. Now, hindsight is 2020. As a grown-up, I understand she was afraid to. As a grown-up, I understand that she didn't want to incur the wrath that I was already facing. But as a kid, and even partially now as a grown-up, you my sister. You supposed to ride for me. I'll ride for you. My other sister, me and her, we stayed getting in trouble together. She took ass whoopings for me, I took for her. So when she said she couldn't let me out because she didn't want to get in trouble, I'm like, bruh, fuck that. Let me out. But I don't hear no more furniture moving, and I'm scared she's away from the door. So I'm like, come on. Please, let me out. I promise I'll go back. But then she says, it's taking me a long time to move. We had a big armoire. And I don't, if y'all grew up with Caucasian people or y'all know your furniture, y'all know them motherfuckers is heavy. She's like, by the time I move this, I'm going to need help putting it back. I can't. You got to stay in the closet, Lisa. And she walks away. And I doo-dooed in the closet that day. I was so fucking mad. I'm like, you know what? I'm a shit in this motherfucker. And I hope it stank. And it did stink. It stunk real bad. I felt like doo-doo was all over me. It was a whole fucking thing. Day 9, grandma's cussing at me, talking about how I got the whole house stank. Day 10, grandma's cussing at me again. Amber saying, you know, why did I poop in the closet? Nigga, I've been in this motherfucker for 10 days. At this point, I don't have any more water. I drank the last of my water on day 10. I am desperate. There is a little bit of food left, but who the fuck want to eat the food and ain't got no more water? I am fucking desperate. I'm banging on the door. I'm crying. I'm negotiating. I'm saying I'll do everything possible. Please let me the fuck out. Sometime that night, I fell asleep. And when I woke up, Sally was standing in the closet. Well, in the door of the closet. She had a bucket. She had gloves. And she told me that I was a disgusting animal and I needed to clean up the closet. Which she made me pull the carpet up also because I peed and pooped in there. And when I got out of the closet, like I wanted to go bathe and, lay down. Nope. As soon as I stood up, she knocked the shit out of me. She hit me so hard I fell back in the closet in the pee. Thank God I didn't hit the doo-doo. I'd have been real mad. And she made it very clear that if I didn't do exactly what she said, she was going to lock me back in that fucking closet. So I spent 11 days in a closet underneath the stairs. My sister could have let me out, and she didn't. My grandmother, my adopted grandmother, could have let me out. She was drunk and old. But that whole situation taught me that there's a plan. Because if I had not agreed to go on this picnic, I would have died in that closet. No food, no water. And I don't even think in her crazy state of mind, she thought about that at all. I don't even think it crossed her mind that I had to have food and water. Because she certainly didn't give a fuck that I had to pee and poop. Part of me thought she wanted me to die in that closet. But God didn't want me to die. So, after I came out of that closet, it became perfectly clear to me that this lady wants to kill me. And I don't need to be here because next time she might succeed. So I became the runaway kid. Y'all remember that Ludacris song? Runaway love. It's less danger in the streets than at home. That's how I felt. So when you hear a lot of my stories about the things I did in the streets at a very early age, it didn't scare me half as much as the things that I did and encountered at home, just trying to be at home, just trying to be a kid. I was a straight A student for most of my school career, AB honor roll for all of it, for sure. I was valedictorian one time, like I was college prep, advanced classes. I tutored children. Children paid me to do their work to take the SAT for them. I wasn't a dumb kid. I thought my education would be my way out. But when I realized I couldn't stay home and go to school and still be safe, I realized go to school, but try to stay home as minimal as possible. And that led me to be in the streets, and that led me to do a lot of things I probably definitely shouldn't have been doing, and making a lot of really grown, fast decisions way before my time, way before I had the wisdom or knowledge or guidance to be making the right choices. But I really, truly felt in my heart, if I stayed there, I won't be here today because she's going to kill me. Because her mother is a racist, so they don't look at me as a human. They just call me nigger a bunch. She doesn't give a fuck because she's made it perfectly clear that the only reason we were adopted was because her husband wanted us, and now her husband is dead and she doesn't want us. She wants the check. She doesn't give a fuck about us. We heard that shit so much as a kid growing up that if she didn't get paid for us, she wouldn't have kept us. It was astounding to me. So I realized I was a disposable commodity to her. And to me, I felt like my life was worth fighting for, and I couldn't just let her take me out like that. So I ran, and I stayed running away. Sometimes I used to only be home one day a week. I go to school every day, from friends' houses, from hotels, but I couldn't be home. And every time I got home after that, when I was 10, the abuse got worse and worse. She burned me, cracked my ribs. She burned me again. Starving a nigga. Like, bruh, this lady was literally so unbalanced that to her, it all made sense. And my oldest sister decided that as long as it wasn't happening to her, she didn't care that it was happening to me. And I couldn't stand with that. Because even as a young kid, I knew I wouldn't let my sister go through that alone. I'd rather get beat with her. I'd rather starve with her. But not my sister. And you can say it's not because she's white and I'm black, but that's how it felt. It's how it felt. It felt like she picked her side, and because this lady was white and she was white, I was on the wrong side. To this day, we can't even hold a conversation with each other. She lacks accountability, and I lack the ability to forgive her. If I'm honest, God forgives. I don't. Stand on that shit, nigga. You ain't fuck with me then, don't fuck with me now. And maybe that's what's wrong with me. Maybe I'm too much of a bitch. I don't know. But I just feel like some things you can forgive and you can get past, right? Because it's about understanding that the person isn't the thing they did, and the relationship means more to you than this one bad thing. But we didn't have a close relationship, and the person was okay with her baby sister potentially losing her life so long as she stayed in the life of luxury, in the big house with the white lady paying her way for everything. And I couldn't get with that. And that's when I realized blood don't make you family. That's my relative. We are related. My family, my brothers, is the niggas that died out there with me. My family is the people who I know did things for me out of the kindness of their heart because they wanted to see me win, because they was on my side, win, lose, or draw. And they didn't have the same blood as me. We ain't got the same mama. We ain't got the same daddy. We ain't got the same shit. So I don't know. I think that one moment in my life changed so many things for me. It changed my perspective of my sister. It changed my perspective of my home and how my future would be. It made it perfectly clear to me that the level of abuse we were enduring wasn't normal. That this was extreme because it could have killed me. And that everybody doesn't have to worry about getting killed when they go home. And that if I wanted to survive, it would be all on me. Because this lady doesn't care if I survive. My sister doesn't care if I survive. Now, let me say this. I got a middle sister, too. She had mental issues also. She always stayed getting sent away to mental facilities. So she wasn't home a lot when a lot of the real bad abuse would happen. And there's a key reason for that. Because she was absolutely off her rocker. She tried to stab them hoes. She beat them bitches with a fucking rainbow vacuum. Y'all remember them big heavy metal vacuums? She took apart that motherfucker and went to work on their ass. All three of them. Big sister, grandma, and mama. Took 8 police to take her down. She was in that bitch going ham, playing baseball. Bow on them hoes. Anyways. So, a lot of the really bad things that happened to me happened when she was sent away. Because she would have never stood for it. But that's a little bit of my story. That's how I ended up in the streets by the time I was 13 and getting shot. That's how I ended up with a fake ID at 15. That's how I ended up legally emancipated. That's how I ended up married by the time I was 17. That's how a lot of things happened, because I was making decisions on a very fast-paced track because I felt like I didn't have any other options. Home wasn't an option. Home was death. Now, if you can understand, you can understand. If you can't understand, I'm sorry. It's not for me to make you understand. I'm not here to tell you anything because I don't want your sympathy. I don't want your pity. I survived. I'm just here to, I guess, let you better understand me, where I've been, what I've been through, where I come from, why my mentality and thought process is the way it is about a lot of things. So, there you go. I made it through the story, y'all. I ain't crying. I'm so proud of me. Yay! Let that shit go. Rebirth and growth. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, the Bees for Baddies has been blowing up. They made their first $100 worth of sales last week. So y'all keep running the numbers up. Keep shopping with them. They're making new bracelets all the time. You can put in custom orders for bracelets. They do like buy 2, get 1 half off. All of that. The numbers is going up on the YouTube and on the Spotify. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I'm thinking about doing some kind of merch, maybe t-shirts. So stay tuned. But new episodes drop in on the regular. I love y'all. If you fucks with me, share the link. Share the video. Let your friends come, you know what I'm saying? Chat with a sexy goddess. I appreciate it. Bye, darling.